going on, everybody? Welcome back to another one. In the last one, you guys saw me paint the engine bay on the RX7. You just seen me in the first little bit there, painting the subframe. Now that we got it painted, everything's got to go back together. So, first things first is really to get the front end together. So getting the subframe in, replacing some of the bushings on the control arms, getting our coilovers in. Don't have them yet. They'll be coming, and we'll get those in. We will slide basically the whole front end up in so that we can start mocking up our 2J in our engine bay. And then we can start working from there. We can start working up all of our systems. Coolant system, fuel system, brake system, everything that needs to start going together from there. That's kind of where our cornerstone is going to be to start building on to everything else. But for now, I think I'm going to start with the control arms. I'll show you what they look like right now.
All right, so these are the control arms, the factory control arms. You can tell here that the bushings, they're dry rotted, cracked. You could maybe get away with them, but obviously I would like to have a little bit of that better steering feel on the front end here. These are factory, so they are pretty soft. I got polyurethane ones. They have the front here and the back one here. That would make a huge difference as far as if one of these were to blow out on track. Your steering would be pretty crazy feeling. So we're going to pull these off of here. Like I said, I got polyurethane ones, so we're going to press those in, and we're going to freshen up this whole front end. All right, we got those control arms cleaned up, got the new bushings pressed in. This thing is looking brand new under here. Unfortunately, you're probably never going to see most of it, but it's going to give me that peace of mind that it's a little bit clean, and it just looks really, really good. I am excited about the polyurethane bushings up front. Obviously, a softer bushing is going to give you more play up front, and it's going to give you more of a comfortable ride, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for that steering response up front. Now, you can go, I think somebody makes a kit to go spherical bushings up front, but that's just a little too overkill for what I'm looking for. I am looking to street this car, sometimes. It's not going to be a daily, but I definitely didn't want that much of aggressiveness up front. The polyurethane bushings, they're going to be stiff enough. It's going to give us great steering response. and it's going to be a whole lot better than what it was. So we're going to get the this flipped around, and we're going to get our subframe spacers here. We're going to get these put on the subframe. We're going to jack the subframe up in here, and we're going to fit these between it. The reason I think I've said before that we're using these subframe spacers is because the 2JZ is a little bit taller than what the rotary that came with the cars. So the rotary, or the 2J, sits just a little too tall if you don't run subframe spacers, and then it makes contact with your hood. With the subframe spacers, it drops the whole subframe down, in turn dropping your motor mounts down, and dropping your whole drivetrain down. There's also complications with the drive, the transmission in the transmission tunnel too. If it sits up too high, it can make contact on the transmission tunnel there. So just lowering the whole drivetrain down makes it just that much easier to fit everything in. But we'll get to putting those on, and we'll jack this up in there. All right, so we got the subframe jacked up in there. We got the bolts in, tighten up, everything's in there. Now we got to move on to our next pieces, which is actually going to be our spindles. While we're in here and we're cleaning everything up and making it look nice, I decided that we might as well go ahead and take apart the calipers off the spindles, paint the calipers and paint the spindles. Just wash them, degrease them, hit them with a coat of paint. Just wash them, degrease them, hit them with a coat of paint just to make them look a little bit nicer. We're not going for a show car here, but going that little bit of an extra mile is what makes that big of a difference. When you look at the car and everything is much nicer, everything's painted, and some of that stuff you're going to see behind the wheels too. So we're just going to shoot it with a good coat of spray paint, black spray paint on the back of it, just to make it look a little bit more hidden behind the wheels. All right, got all the stuff outside here. We're just going to do some video magic, and we're going to get these cleaned up. There we go. Got them all cleaned up. These actually shined up a lot more than I thought they were going to. I'm deciding whether I'm going to paint the shields black or not, or leave them with kind of raw aluminum finish. But the calipers, definitely going to paint those black. These are not perfect. Some of the brake dust is so embedded in there. I'm scraping it with a wire brush. It's not coming out. I still might just shoot everything in black. I don't know if I like the silver, but I think it might stick out a little too much for what I'm trying to go for. So I might just shoot everything black. But we'll get this moved over, get these all dried off, and we'll get to painting them. Hey, would you look at that? It's daylight. It's actually the next morning. I left these outside to dry overnight. And now it's much, much colder. So it's going to be perfect to stick this paint to it. So we're going to hit this with some of the cheapest and most free spray paint I've got laying around. I got this for free, some red oxide primer. We'll spray that on there first. Get a good 1 to 2 coats of this on here, just so it might hold up a little bit better. And then we've got some of the VHT epoxy paint. I've had that stuff for a while. That stuff holds up pretty well. But we'll get this all shot. Alrighty, got them all primered, painted them black. They're gonna look all right. Just kind of went with black on the calipers. I just kind of wanted it to look a little bit more subtle, sitting behind any wheels that we have. So they're all dried up pretty much, except for the calipers. I just hit them with another coat. So we can go ahead and we can throw these spindles back on the vehicle. That way we can throw the wheels on and probably the struts again. So we can set it down on the ground. All right, so we got it down on its front feet here. Now we're going to switch gears. We're going to jump to the back. I think I had said in a previous video, I got a Turbo 2 diff and Turbo 2 axles. And I also got the toe eliminator set, bushing set, the solid bushings for the rear. So that stuff's got to get in there. So we're going to drop pretty much, I don't know if I'm going to drop the whole subframe out yet. We just got to take a look at what we got to do those bushings and to get that rear end in. So we're probably just only going to get that yanked out today yet, but we'll yank it out. All right, we got the back end jacked up, got the wheel taken off. Now we'll get all this pulled off of here. I'm just going to be taking the arms out. I'm not going to be dropping the whole subframe because I don't have to. I only have to drop the arms out and then to put the new bushings in, and it'll just make it a little bit easier, and then just to drop the rear end out. So we'll get all this pulled out of here. I'm not going to film any of it. It's going to be a little boring, so just do a little bit of YouTube magic here. All right, so that escalated to pulling the whole subframe out. I thought I might be able to just get away with pulling each arms out, but unfortunately, I couldn't get the bolts out for the arms without dropping the whole subframe out. So we just went ahead and did that. I didn't film any of it because I was just kind of chugging away at it. But we got that out. I got it all cleaned up already. Pressure wash. Just going to hit it with some paint. This is it here. I actually pulled the arms off of it. Put new control arm bushings in there. And also in the middle of right now, I do have the knuckles off because we are going to be doing the rear steer delete with the Part Shop Max solid bushings. And I could show you those. So if we're going to want to be drifting this thing, it's pretty important to have a pretty consistent feel. These cars factory come with rear steer, more correct of a active toe. So these bushings here are the Part Shop Max bushings. They are a solid bushing, but the factory bushings are rubber. And then they have a sleeve that goes into the rubber bushing, and they can shift and they can twist to make it that the rear wheel will toe in on a turn. Now for drifting, that's not what we want. We want to have a consistent, solid feel. We don't want the wheel towing in actively when we're trying to initiate. And they are pretty simple to install. They just slip in. I can show you right here. So that one's the wrong one. We need this one. Boom. Oop. That one's got a little bit of stuff on it, but they just slip in there. And then, like I said, there is the other one. This bushing up here gets converted to solid bushing as well. Right at the top of the arm, this bushing is converted to solid bushing when you do that. So the next order of business is to get this subframe back up underneath the car, and then I will put the knuckles back on once this is up in the car. That way I'm not scraping them all over the ground, because this isn't the lightest thing in the world to get back there. So we'll pick this thing up, we'll stick it back there, and then we'll stick a jack underneath it to jack it up. I did get my wheels and tires ordered, so they're sitting in the back corner over there. I'll show you them. Also, we had gotten our BC Racing coilovers, so I'll pull these out of the box here and show you them. All right, so these are the BC Racing coilovers. These are my first set of BCs. What's nice about the BCs, this is the BR series coilover. You've got adjustable dampening, and these also have front camber plates, as you can see right here. So, not the cheapest coilover on the market, but they are a pretty good entry-level coilover. And at least from what I've seen, other guys that have ran BCs, they've had them on their cars for, 7 to 10 years, and, they've had them on their drift cars, and they just still hold up. So, it's more of a buy once, cry once type of thing. I could have gotten a cheap set of $500 coilovers on it and probably been just fine for a little while, but I really wanted to get a set of BCs as well. These are going to be able to help us get to the exact stance that I want on the car, and with my wheels that I got some pretty decent setup for that as well. And I can show you them as well, but I think I'll leave that till last when we go to mount up the tires and then fit it on the car when they get it on the ground. Then I'll do a final reveal of that. But these were just cool. I wanted to show you them.